Hello, everyone. It's another episode of What's Up, Doc, with everyone's favorite grandfather. What's up, Paw Paw?
Hey, how you doing, son?
I think I'm doing better than how you doing right now. How's
I think so. It just struck me all at once. I ended up with cutting the grass one day and afternoon in the hospital from pneumonia.
Paw Paw? We're now. This is a scary time for people to be in the hospital. Would you agree?
I would agree, and I'm glad you came to, so we can do a session while I'm in the hospital, and maybe I'll get this message across to young people. You might feel like Superman now, but when you get older, you're gonna need the medical programs, and Medicare for all and for all our citizens to have medical is very important. And I'm glad you came so I could shoot this, so I could share something with all of my grandkids out there in the world. Listen, I was a young man and I worked on a job. I worked for North American Aviation. And I had a new baby. He had got about 8 months old. And they laid me off, and I didn't carry his medical with me. I couldn't afford it. And a couple of weeks after it expired, leaving the job, he got sick. And it set me back. So it's just like me here now. One day I'm up working, cutting the grass, even though I am 77, and feeling fine. Then I get a rattle in my chest. It probably had been festering there. And I end up in the hospital. Well, it only takes you one time to be in the hospital, and without medical, it could ruin your life or set you back in your life for years. So you might not think you don't want to pay for insurance now for somebody else because you healthy. But what if something like that strikes a member of your family or you? The one thing that you want to do is, and our government can afford it, is our tax money. We give money to other foreign nations. We give money to large corporations and stuff like that. We got to stop allowing the people in power to give our money away to somebody else and cover us and our family. Now, there's those of you who want to go along with the propaganda and think you benefiting from it, but just think about it. Think about it. You don't have it because you don't want somebody else to have it. That's really the problem. You may be able to pay for yours now, and you don't want anyone else to have it because they can't pay for theirs. I said, but what you need to do is think about now the coronavirus has actually shown us, no matter how powerful you are, no matter what you do, no matter how much you make, something can take you down. The only thing can help you and hold you up is other people. It's just that simple. And like I said before, I always say this. You can fix the road just in front of your house, but where you going to go when you pass your house? Your car is going to hit the bad roads. If you don't want nobody to drive on it, you got to drive on it. So when I'm sitting here now, sick with pneumonia, and able to tell you it strikes without notice. It just comes. Whether you're old or young, illness can come and strike you. And you may think you got a bright future and you're going to do this and do that. But this medical thing is something serious that you need to really consider and insist upon. That everybody in America is just like older individuals having Social Security. They have a means of income when they get older and medicine that takes care of them. Well, you need it now when you're young. Because if you don't take care of yourself today, you're going to be sick tomorrow. And now you can't afford it tomorrow when you're older or you're retired. Now you're going to suffer the consequences and lose everything that you gain. Fortunately for me, I work for the city of Los Angeles. And I didn't take a lot of civilian jobs because the government job was the only one that gave us full medical and full benefits. And believe me, this is the reason why that I do well and able to come to the hospital when it's needed. And all of us at one time or another is probably going to end up needing some kind of medical care. But government jobs, not only government jobs, they may pay less, but they actually don't pay less because you get the benefits to secure your family too. You may make $100,000 a year on a job, but how much are you paying for your own insurance and stuff? Subtract that and you'll see that making less and letting the government pay for our medical and insurance is a benefit to us. Pay it. Make sure the system changes where it benefits you as a citizen. Don't be selfish and greedy, because all that propaganda they put on TV is not for you. It's for them. And I mentioned this before. They tell you what something is for. This war is for this. This war and disagreement is for that. Use your own head. And don't believe that stuff. Don't believe like pigs going to a trough and it's eating slop. Think about what's happening to yourself. Look around. Look at your mom, your grandmother, your children, your cousins, and see, have their life improved? They would improve if they had medical or had a decent job. But if all the money is drained off of the country to a few people, you have nothing. Stop being so concerned about somebody else having a little and you not going to have it. They're not stopping you from having anything. No poor people have never stopped you from having anything. It's you who stopped you, but taking on that selfish attitude. Poor people have struggled just like anybody else, if not harder, all of the time. So when it comes to medical, though, it could just strike you tonight. I've been ill before. I got sick and didn't know what was wrong with me. Couldn't even talk. Couldn't even speak to my wife. She just had to understand hand signals. Just bingo. It could have been medicine. I don't know what it was. They ain't told me today what it was. But it just happens. So what you have to do is know that if you got medical, where the ambulance can come get you that you pay for, the emergency people can come get you that you pay for, and take to a hospital that we pay for with our taxes, the best money that we can get, we'll be taken care of. Now, the other thing I wanted to speak to you about, the reason why we not have medical and have a lot of facilities that's good for the broader public, is because they brainwashed you that your education, you need to go to a private school. You need to go to don't go to a public school, but go to a private university. All of that stuff is a lie. Education is education. The reason we end up with private schools is because of public schools. We are the one who went to public school to be inventive and make the money to create private schools. You need to put all that stuff back. All the shops and cooking and all of the things that you learn, technology, and need to be put back in high school. And when you go to an advanced state college, of course you could choose a different college you go to, but they all should be state colleges free, that our government pay for with our money. The people who go to Harvard is not smarter than the people who go to Trade Tech Junior College or community college or state college. They're not smarter. They just have access to other resources that the other college don't. But they were taken from the public sector. All of these people running around here now talking about they millionaires and billionaires. They not no millionaires and billionaires. You know where they got that stuff from? Government research. All of your internet, all of your medical breakthroughs, all of that stuff come from government research, and then the private industry got it, and then they made themselves rich. Won't even pay taxes. Won't give you none of your own money, that your government money, your tax dollars paid for all this research for free. And then people in Congress and in the Senate turn it over to private industry. That's all right if you turn it over to private industry, but they should have to pay for that. When they get to be profitable like that, we should get 20 or 30%, because they didn't invent it. They just improved it. And they didn't improve it by themselves. They improved it with citizens who did those inventions. It's just like our medical. All the medical breakthroughs come through government programs and stuff like that. You think it's private, but they're taking our government money and do the research, and then they say it's private. I did this. No one person did nothing. No one person is that brilliant. You may have one idea, but so many other people add to the idea to make it brilliant. It's ridiculous. So stop going for that and stop falling for that foolishness, because it's not real. They have devastated our public school and our public teachers. Don't pay them, halfway pay them. They got to go in their pocket. We shouldn't stand for that. We should not stand for that at all. I never bought pencils and papers when I went to school, and I used them wisely. I always had a book pack full of books or arm. I didn't have no book pack at that time. I carried it in my arm because you had to study. And you had to come home and back to school the next day, and you had homework assignments that you was given. Now they send our children home with a sheet of paper. They need books to read. And then they say, why they don't read? Because we have taken that away from them. We've taken all the crafts out of school. We've taken all the music out of school. We've taken everything out of public schools. And then what you think our kids gonna learn? So we need, as citizens ourselves, we need to step up to the plate. And this has nothing to do with race. It has to do with us as being citizens who take responsibility and understand that you're not giving nobody when you paying in the medical when you're young. Because when you get my age, like now, it costs thousands and thousands of dollars when I come to the hospital. Where's it going to come from if we haven't done this when we were young? If you accumulated anything, it's going to break you. Think about that. When we all can pool our money together and have great education system and great hospital where we all are taken care of. Nobody should be left behind when it comes to physical ability if we have the medicine and the capability of healing and caring for them. No one should have to be so stressed out they got to go on drugs or alcohol because they lost their job and stuff. Let us turn now, the next revolution in this country is a revolution for us being together and actually being a united states, united in everything. This separate stuff and this hatred just has to go. You see it too often. What do you hate a man that you had a slave? Why do you hate a person who ain't did nothing to you just because of the color of his skin, or color of her skin, or because of their sex or national origin, or whatever it is? Why you gotta hate them? Don't go along with those people. Too many people in our country have failed for this, and that's what has stagnated our country. Is too many of us have tolerated the things we know better. We just know better. And that's all I have to say to you this afternoon about medical and medicine. We all need a national medical program where everybody, whether they're in the Ozarks or in Detroit city, they need medical help. And while we're young, we all should put in our taxes in the system so that they're taken care of. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Paw Paw.